Have you ever had that one friend who leaves you feeling uneasy, like something just isn't right? Maybe they're fun when you're together, but deep down you sense they might not truly have your back. We all want to believe our friends care about us. Friendships are supposed to be a source of comfort, laughter, and support. In fact, psychological research shows that good friendships can lower our stress levels and even improve our health. But when a friendship is not genuine, when it's one sided or insincere, it can actually do more harm than good. Today, I want to talk about something many of us experience: the so called fake friend. I don't mean casual acquaintances, but those people who seem like real friends, yet consistently hurt, use, or disappoint us in ways a true friend never would. We often call them fair weather friends. They're around for the fun times, but vanish when things get tough. It's painful and confusing. You might start questioning yourself: is it me? Am I expecting too much? But the truth is, genuine friendship is built on mutual care and respect. If you feel like you're doing all the giving or that your friend isn't being real with you, you might be dealing with a fake friend. Recognizing the signs can be tricky because we usually give people the benefit of the doubt. We make excuses like, oh, she's just busy, or he didn't mean it that way. And sure, nobody's perfect. Every friend slips up now and then. But what we're looking at are patterns, behaviors that consistently show someone is not the friend they pretend to be. Understanding why these behaviors hurt so much and why some people act this way can help us make sense of what's happening. So let's explore 6 things only fake friends do. As we go through them, you might recognize a few, and if you do, don't feel bad. The goal here isn't to point fingers, but to shine a light on unhealthy friendship patterns so we can protect our own well being. One classic sign of a fake friend is that they only come around when they need something. Think about that friend who contacts you out of the blue because they want a favor or help with their problem, but when you're the one in need, they're suddenly nowhere to be found. It feels pretty awful. You might exist on their schedule rather than as a person with your own needs. Friendship is supposed to be a two-way street. When you realize all the giving is one-sided from you to them, it hurts. We naturally expect some give and take in relationships. If a friend only sticks around for the good times or when they have something to gain, it breaks that basic trust. You might start feeling anxious or lonely, knowing you can't really count on them. A real friend is there for you during the fun and the hard times. A fair weather friend only shows up when the sun is shining. Why would someone act like this? Often it comes from a self centered mindset or a lack of empathy. They might not truly understand that friendship involves caring about someone else's needs. Maybe they were raised to look out for number one, or they just never learned how to be supportive. Some people also avoid emotional situations because it's uncomfortable for them, so they take the easy parts of friendship and bail when it requires effort. Whatever the reason, it's important to remember that it's not your fault. You're not too needy for expecting a friend to be there. Another thing fake friends do is make everything one-sided. Have you ever had a conversation with someone that was completely about them? Perhaps you spent an hour listening to their stories and problems, and when it's your turn to share, they either quickly change the topic back to themselves or just tune out. You walk away feeling invisible, like your life and feelings didn't matter. This lack of genuine interest is a big red flag. One of our fundamental needs in friendship is to feel heard and valued. If your friend never asks how you're doing or doesn't pay attention when you speak, something is off. As children, we all start out a bit egocentric, seeing the world mostly from our own perspective. But by adulthood, we learn empathy. A fake friend who only talks about themselves may not have gotten that memo. It might be immaturity or even a narcissistic streak where they just can't see past their own needs. I'm not saying they're an outright narcissist, but the effect on you is the same. You give them support and attention and get little in return. Over time, being on the sidelines in your own friendship is exhausting. You might feel more like an audience than a friend. A healthy friendship involves both people sharing and listening. If you're always the listener and never the listened to, that's a sign that this friendship is out of balance and likely not truly supportive. Fake friends are often unreliable. They don't keep their promises or follow through on commitments. Maybe they constantly cancel plans at the last minute, or they say they'll help you with something but then never show up. Imagine counting on a friend for an important day. Say you really need their help or moral support, and then they bail without a good reason. It stings. Each time this happens, you're left disappointed and maybe even a bit embarrassed for having relied on them again. When someone's words rarely match their actions, trust erodes. You start to doubt everything they say. Will they actually be there? Do they really mean what they promise? Consistency is a huge part of trust. If a friend is habitually flaky, the friendship rests on shaky ground. You might find yourself making excuses for them or trying not to ask them for anything at all, just to avoid being let down. But think about it. A true friend respects you and your time. They show up when they say they will, and if they can't, they let you know and apologize sincerely. If someone is always making excuses, standing you up, or putting you low on their priority list, they are showing that they don't value the friendship the way you do. That kind of one-sided reliability a clear marker of a fake friend. Another painful behavior of fake friends is gossip and betrayal. They might smile to your face, but then talk behind your back. Maybe you confided in a friend about something personal, and later you find out they told others. Or you hear that they've been saying not so nice things about you when you're not around. That feeling of betrayal cuts deep. Trust, once broken, is hard to mend. And with good reason, friendship is built on trust. When a friend shares your secrets or badmouths you, it feels like a violation. People gossip for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes out of jealousy, sometimes to fit in with a crowd, or just for drama. None of those reasons make it hurt any less when you're the target. In fact, social betrayal can feel as painful as a physical injury. Have you ever felt sick to your stomach after discovering a friend betrayed you? There's science behind that, showing our brains register this kind of hurt similarly to physical pain. A true friend, however, protects your confidences and defends you when you're not there. They value your trust. So if someone repeatedly spills your secrets or throws you under the bus to make themselves look better, they're acting like a fake friend. And it's completely understandable to feel wary of them once you've been burned like that. Fake friends also tend to put you down or fail to support you. Instead of being happy for you when something good happens, they might minimize it or find a way to criticize. Imagine you just got a promotion at work and you're excited to tell your friend. A genuine friend would celebrate with you. A fake friend might say something snarky like, "Well, it's not that big a deal. Lots of people get that title." Or suggest you got it through luck rather than merit. Over time, those little digs and lack of enthusiasm can really dampen your spirit. Often, this behavior comes from insecurity or envy. If your friend has a hard time feeling happy for others, they might try to bring you down to cope with their own feelings of inadequacy. Psychologists sometimes call this an inferiority complex. They feel inferior, so they undermine someone else's success to feel a bit better about themselves. Of course, knowing that doesn't make it hurt less when it's your friend doing it. You might start to downplay your successes around them, or stop sharing good news because you expect a negative reaction. But a true friend will cheer for you and support you, just as you would for them. If someone consistently makes you feel small or guilty for your achievements, that's a sign that their friendship isn't genuine or healthy. The last big sign of a fake friend is manipulation and a lack of respect for your boundaries. This can be a bit tricky to spot because it often comes wrapped in emotional pressure. One form it takes is guilt tripping. For example, if you can't meet up with them one day because you have other obligations, they might say something like, "I guess I know who my real friends are," just to make you feel bad. Suddenly, you're the one apologizing even though you did nothing wrong. They might also always cast themselves as the victim, flipping the conversation so you end up apologizing to them. It's upside down and exhausting. Fake friends also tend to ignore your limits. Maybe you say you need some personal time or you don't want to do something, but they push anyway. If you resist, they make you feel guilty. Over time, this manipulation can really wear you down. You start to dread interactions because you anticipate the guilt trips or drama. You might give in to things just to keep the peace. But that's not what friendship should be. A real friend respects your no and your autonomy. They care about how you feel. If someone is consistently making you feel guilty, anxious, or bulldozed into doing things, they're not treating you like a friend. They're treating you like someone to control. And that is a clear sign of a fake friend. So, we've talked through a lot of red flags. Maybe you recognized some of them in a relationship of your own. If so, remember this. A true friendship generally feels positive and supportive, not constantly draining or uncertain. After spending time with a good friend, you might feel happier, heard, or at least not worse about yourself. After an encounter with a fake friend, you often feel the opposite, anxious, let down, or even bad about yourself. That contrast is telling. Now, what can you do if you realize you have a fake friend? First, acknowledge it. You might try talking to them, honestly explaining how you feel. Sometimes people don't realize how they're behaving and they might change. But be prepared. Not everyone will change, especially if these patterns run deep. It's okay, in fact healthy, to set boundaries or create distance. You don't have to answer every call or jump to every request. You can decide to step back slowly, or in some cases, you might choose to end the friendship entirely. It can be hard, especially if you've known the person a long time, but your mental and emotional well being comes first. Above all, keep in mind that you deserve friends who genuinely care for you. Good friends do exist, and when you find them, you'll notice the difference. You'll feel safe, supported, and respected. So when you spot a fake friend doing these 6 things, know that you have the right to walk away or demand better. Life is too short to spend it with people who don't truly have your back. Subscribe to Mind Matters so you do not miss any of our content. We'll see you in the next episode.